Annual Classic Legacy Band Concert. We know there are a plethora of holiday concerts this time of year, and we're so happy that you have chosen ours tonight. As you have probably noticed already, this concert coincides with our annual silent raffle fundraiser, and I'll have more information about that at intermission. In the commercial world, you probably noticed that the holidays seem to start earlier and earlier every year. I took a trip to Menards in September, only to find I had to navigate through their Christmas decoration displays on my way to the auto parts section. While most musicians, like those in front of you, start rehearsing Christmas music long before you hear it in concert, Menards beat the Classic Legacy Band festivities by a whole month. However, the concert you hear tonight has indeed been several weeks in the making, and if you aren't in the holiday spirit yet, you will be by the time you leave. Now, to kick off the concert with a medley of traditional Christmas tunes, please join me in welcoming to the stage the conductor of the Classic Legacy Band, Mr. David Fitz. If you perused the program while waiting for the concert to start, you might have thought to yourself, who is Pinkzebra, other than the composer of the second piece you'll hear tonight? To satiate your incredible curiosity about composers with creative names, you may have even consulted Alexa or Siri, only to be presented with the story of a couple who started their own fragrant candle business. No, they aren't music composers on the side. Pinkzebra is the pseudonym for one of the most licensed music composers and producers in the world. His music tracks have been used in more than 100,000 video projects, and he has many compositions for concert bands at all levels. Other than the male pronoun he uses, however, his true identity is as mysterious as his piece, Winter Magic, which you will hear next. Think of snow-covered forests and mischievous elves sneaking around just out of sight. Santa the Barbarian is a series of concert band pieces written by Randall Standridge that puts a somewhat dark and comical twist on traditional holiday stories. Santa is reimagined as a warrior from the winter wastes. In the first 3 pieces of this series, Santa pillages the high seas with his pirate pals and battles the onset of spring in his world of eternal winter. After the eternal winter snowpocalypse, Santa the Barbarian is at odds with his son, Nicholas, who wants Christmas to be merry. Unwilling to relinquish his wintry hold on the holiday, the not-so-jolly old elf refuses. War breaks out between the two, and in this piece, you will hear elements of Mars, the bringer of war from Holst the Planets, jolly old St. Nicholas, jingle bells, deck the halls, and foom, foom, foom. A long time ago, on a cold winter morn, to Santa the Barbarian, a child was born. He was raised a barbarian, Nicholas by name, and he and his father, though, were not quite the same. While Santa wanted Christmas to remain dark and scary, young Nicholas thought the holidays instead should be merry. And so the land shook with a great blizzard's war as Santa the Barbarian and Son declared war. After the fall, a hush filled the air, and people began to gather and stare. They came to see which winter warrior had won. Was it Santa the Barbarian, or was it his son? They now saw a man who was striding on foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. For out of the wreckage St. Nicholas stood tall, and laughing he cried, "Merry Christmas to all!" With good at last winning. But is this the end, or just the beginning? If you love the holidays too much to jump on the bad Santa bandwagon, then this next song should bring you back to the virtual fireplace. Arranged by Sammy Nestico, A Fireside Christmas is a mashup of holiday favorites, including Winter Wonderland, I'll Be Home for Christmas, The Christmas Song, Frosty the Snowman, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. One of the reasons that holiday music appeals to the masses is that many of the tunes are written in major keys, whether people know this or not. Major keys and their respective chords are usually light and happy and make us feel joy, contentment, or even excited. Music that is intended to be mysterious, dark, sad, or moody is often written in a minor key. This next piece takes some of your favorite holiday tunes, originally written in major keys, and transposes them to a minor key. I'm not going to tell you what they are. See if you can recognize a few in their altered state. According to the composer's widow, Eleanor Anderson, Leroy didn't set out to write a Christmas piece when he wrote Sleigh Ride. His intentions were to convey the entire winter season through the imagery of a sleigh ride, much in the way that Mozart did with his piece of the same name. Some 75 years after Leroy Anderson created Sleigh Ride, the composition is still ranked as one of the 10 most popular pieces of Christmas music worldwide, and frequently the #1 most popular holiday song in the United States. This is in spite of the fact that the word Christmas is never mentioned in the lyrics, which Mitchell Parish wrote several years after Anderson finished the composition. Complete with whip and horse whinny, we bring you Leroy Anderson's Sleigh Ride. I think the horse needs some water, so we're going to take a 15-minute intermission, during which we invite you to visit the silent raffle in the gymnasium behind you. So, fun fact, the original 1950 version of Leroy Anderson's A Christmas Festival is 9 minutes long. but the printed version, performed most often, was shortened to 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Why? In an interview with PBS, Mr. Anderson explained one of the technological limitations in the 1950s to recording performed music, and that was the length of the 78 RPM records, or single records as they were known. 78 RPM records, the standard at the time, were two-sided, but could only contain about 4 minutes of a recording on each side. So when Anderson first wrote A Christmas Festival, he had to compose a break in the song that would make sense when playing to the record and having to turn it over halfway through the piece, but wouldn't be noticeable in a live performance when the piece was played straight through. In a rare moment of shameless self-promotion, Anderson stated, "I defy anybody to find the exact spot where that break occurred." Tonight, we're bringing you the shortened version, but with all the classic holiday tunes you recognize. The Iditarod is a famous 1,000-mile sled dog race between Anchorage and Nome, Alaska, that takes place in early March annually. First run in 1973, the race takes its name from the Iditarod Trail, one of the first 4 U.S. National Historic Trails to be designated in 1978. And the trail takes its name from the town on the river of the same name. The race actually has 2 different routes, a northern route and a southern route, run on opposite years to distribute economic impact of the race to more of the small communities that dot the Alaskan wilderness. However, as global warming has reduced snow cover, the race was completely rerouted in 2015 and 2017 to avoid miles of bare earth. This next piece, like the race itself, is a testament to the human spirit, the bond between humans and animals, and the awe-inspiring power of nature. is a little-known fact that the holiday tune Carol of the Bells was inspired by Ukrainian village folk song titled Shkedrik. In the early 20th century, Ukrainian composer Mykola Leontovich elaborated the original melody into a four-voice cappella. The song diffused to the United States when the Ukrainian National Chorus toured North and Central America between 1922 and 1924 and performed the piece in Carnegie Hall. The piece was so popular that several composers, notably George Gershwin, arranged the song, and it appeared in many musical styles all over the world. Political tensions between Russia and Ukraine led to a suppression of a distinct Ukrainian culture in the first half of the 20th century, and the appropriation of Ukrainian cultural elements, including music, by Russia led this piece to mistakenly be attributed to Russian folklore rather than its true Ukrainian roots. But now you know where the tune really came from. What you will hear tonight is a setting for band of Mannheim Steamroller's version of Carol of the Bells. Although we've spent much of our concert playing for you, no holiday band concert is complete without an opportunity to play with you. That's right, it's time for the Classic Legacy Band's traditional holiday sing-along. Join us for Hark the Herald Angels Sing, O Come All Ye Faithful, Deck the Halls, Silent Night, The First Noel, Joy to the World, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Before I tell you about our next song, I want to turn the microphone over to the president of the Classic Legacy Band, Mr. Todd Schwanecke.
I thought this year I'd come up here since I'm a little closer. Normally I'm over there, so you can actually see me this time. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Sarah Beth. On behalf of the entire Classic Legacy Band, I would like to thank and acknowledge all those that helped make this concert possible. Number one on my list is you, our listening audience, our faithful ones it's truly a privilege and pleasure to be able to perform for you. You make it all worthwhile, and we truly thank you for all of your support. Next, I would like to acknowledge and thank Peace Lutheran Church for all that they do for us and provide. They provide us this beautiful sanctuary, all nicely decorated up for Christmas, that we have our Christmas concert. Besides here, of course, as you know, back in the gymnasium, we have the raffle going on, which that's a big fundraiser for us. Besides, that is also where we have our weekly rehearsals here. And downstairs in the basement, we have our equipment and storage room where we have our library as well. So thank you very much, Peace Lutheran. And if you didn't notice, there's someone hiding behind there in his little box over there. Jeff Thaler, excuse me, Jeff, but he is providing us for all these nice videos that you see up there. This is the first year that we've actually had that, and thank you, Jeff, for being able to provide that. But not only has he been doing that, he's recording this. So if you want to actually watch this later or tell somebody else about it, you can go on Peace's website and be able to see it, or on the Classic Legacy Band website. It is also up on there. And it is also currently being live streamed. And last I checked with Jeff, he had like 30-some live views, which actually translates to double that because there's more than one person actually watching at a time, I would think. So I'd like to say hi and thank you for all out there in the cyber world. And I'd like to thank all the many generous donors, both individuals and businesses, that have contributed to this group. And if you look in your program, you'll see a listing of them, and we'd like to thank all those. And our number one fundraiser that we have for the year, I mentioned, is the raffle. I'd like to thank all those that have made this possible. If you look in your program, you'll all see a listing of the many different contributors. But it's not just the people who donate, but it's you who are actually buying the tickets. Thank you very much. As in any organization, it takes a lot to make it work. It's not just us playing here, but there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And if anybody's been behind the scenes, they know a lot of those unsung heroes. I want to sing for those heroes. First is our vice president, who is also in charge of fundraising, which means she gets in charge of the raffle, Dana Armbruster. Thank you, Dana. Next, our secretary, Carol Casale. Oh, by the way, it's her birthday today. And our treasurer, Connie Radimer, our librarian, Jennifer Griffiths, and personnel. Hiding over in the corner there is Lynn Schwanecke. Yes, that's my wife. And for promotions, Lisa Bale. An important part of our group, to me, has always been to bring up the youth. They are the future stars of tomorrow. But I personally want to acknowledge and thank three of the members of this group, which are band directors. They have helped not only at their schools to encourage and to teach their students, but they have encouraged some of them to play here along with us. They are, and if you could please stand, Chris Deming, the band director at Swan Valley High School. Dustin Vandeveer, the band director at Bay City Western. And Megan Corky, the band director at Pinconning High School. And just to show you our listening audience just how much influence they do have on this group, I would like to ask all their students, past and present, in the group and out there in the audience, to please stand so we acknowledge you. Hey, Dana, can you hand me those 2 cards, please?
And by the way, Tom, we have another birthday.
Oh, yes. One of the other French horn players, Nancy Benjamin. Come on, Nancy. Okay. All right, and I would also like to give a very special thank you to our Master of Ceremonies, Dr. Sara Beth Keough. We truly appreciate your helpful insight to all the music that we play. And besides, when we're playing instruments, we appreciate the breather that we get between pieces. Please accept this token of our appreciation. And by the way, you did a great job on Santa, son of the Barbarian. Thanks. And last, but of course not least, our conductor, Mr. David Fitz. Dave, we see here 63 very talented There are 63 very talented musicians. Each one of them is a star. But Dave, you put us all together. You make us what we hear tonight, and we sing as one. It's just really, truly a blessing to be able to have you as our conductor, and we truly thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you, Dave. Okay, now, in case you're thinking I'm long-winded, yeah, that's right. But you see, there's elves back there getting the raffle ready, drawing the tickets, and getting everything ready. So I think I bought enough time for them. So anyways, folks, let's get back to the concert. Thank you.
The Polar Express is a children's book first published in 1985 by Michigan native Chris Van Allsburg. The book was later made into an animated feature film starring the voice of Tom Hanks. It tells the story of a young boy who cautiously boards a magical train to the North Pole in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve. On his journey, he makes new friends, opens his mind to new ideas, and ultimately solidifies his belief in Santa and the spirit of Christmas. Michigan connections to this story don't end with the author's birthplace. According to Van Allsburg, the Polar Express train is based on the Père Marquette 1225, an N1284 steam locomotive built in the 1940s. Recently, it was rebuilt and is currently stationed in Owasso. The actual blueprint and sound effects from live recordings of the train in motion went into the film's animation. You can take the Polar Express from Owasso through the Christmas village of Ashley and many other cities along the Great Lakes Central Railroad, all the way up to Cadillac. The locomotive is one of the few remaining operable steam engines of its size. The Classic Legacy Band now presents this wonderful medley of songs from the movie, including Believe, The Polar Express, When Christmas Comes to Town, and Spirit of the Season. Okay, so I have some important raffle information for you. So, when you purchased your tickets for the raffle, you scanned a QR code on the table. You want to open the web page on your cell phone and refresh that page to see the final list of winners. Scan through the list for the items you put tickets in for and see if any of them match the ticket you kept. If you're a winner, show your phone to the raffle elves to receive your prize. And don't fret if your webpage wasn't saved or you forgot to scan the QR code. Rest assured that same QR code will be on the tables in the back and on a couple of large posters as well. So you're welcome to scan it again. And the elves can help you if needed. If you don't have your smartphone, there will be a few printed lists of winners on the tables. I also want to announce that our next concert will be Sunday, March 9th. At the Swan Valley High School in their new auditorium. The theme of that concert is The Ladies Have It, and all the pieces we will play are by female composers. And now, please join us as we close the concert with Old Scottish Melody, otherwise known as Auld Lang Syne.